session, I'll be talking about what next steps data and documentation is available, the content and the structure of the data, and how to access this information and any other important changes that have taken place. And these slides were prepared by Sarah Brihal, who works in the data management team. So this table shows a list of the datasets available for download for the Sweep 9 deposit of next steps. You can see here a sort of overarching summary of the contents of each dataset and its structure, that is whether it's flat or hierarchical, and the IDs that are used to uniquely identify the cohort members within the dataset. Where applicable, the name of the file indicates the survey content of the data, and it's important that when you download this data, you use this information in relation to the user guide and the questionnaire, which is also part of the deposit at the UK Data Service. This will be available under end user license at the UK Data Service, which means that you'll be able to access the data pretty much immediately, and you will be able to use that on your desktop. It's not secure data. In the future, we will deposit the secure data that includes the administrative data linkage updates and any genetic data that will be available in due course. So the main interview file captures modules 1 to 7, which includes household relationships, housing, activities and employment, finance, educational qualifications and health, as well as the administrative module and the cognitive assessment scores, which captures the working memory test that Alison mentioned. And this is a flat file, so there will only be one record per cohort member. Next is self-completion, and this is one of the other large data sets that are part of the deposit, and that includes the self-completion aspect of the survey, which we believe might be influenced by an interviewer being present, so we ask participants to complete by themselves on screen. And these include the big 5 personality questions, questions about trust, resilience, mental health, and life satisfaction. The other files here, many of the other files here are hierarchical, and that just means that we basically capture information on a loop until there is no more information to share. So this will capture relationship histories, information about children, pregnancy histories, and parents, for example, and many other aspects that sort of add some complexity to the data, but also adds a lot of information about their experiences since we last saw them at age 25. Just to flag as well, there's a separate file that has the derived variables, and we aim for those to be harmonised across the sweeps where we can, but also enable some cross-cohort comparisons, and that should make analysis a little easier. And there's also the next steps longitudinal file that captures the sample weights and outcome variables for all of the sweeps 1 to 9. So I've mentioned a few of this already. So the data sets are available in end user license. The structure will follow the same naming convention as we did at age 25. And the main interview and the self-completion capture the majority of the survey data, including the results from the cognitive assessment. What's new at age 32 is that the person grid has 5 separate loops, including the partner grid, 2 child grids, and 2 other household grids. In age 25, we also have a partner, child, and household grids, which were reported separately. I touched a little bit on the structure, but the flat files are essentially 1 record per case, and are collected during field work and documented pretty much as they were captured in the questionnaire. And the cohort member's response for a flat file uniquely identified by the NSID, the next steps ID variable. And the hierarchical files are those sort of partnership grids and childhood grids that may capture more than 1 record per participant. And there's a secondary index as well as the primary index capturing the identification numbers of the people involved. The order in which the variables appear in the dataset broadly follows the order of the modules and the sections within the modules. And the variable names in the dataset are based on those documented questionnaires, so you can quite simply cross-reference the computer-assisted survey interview name contained within the dataset, variable name, so you can sort of check and search against those. as we've done before, we prefix everything for wave 9 or the age 32 sweep with W9. Age 25 we had W8, and it goes backwards, so you should be able to see relatively easy which sweep the data, the variable has come from. And for multi-coded variables, they've been given a suffix A, B, C to capture the first, second, and third iteration respectively. The variable labels we hope give an indication of the question content, but again, you could search against what was in the questionnaire itself. And we followed the convention for value labels that indicate the sort of missing values, where we have those that have refused an answer to a question have been given the value of -9, those who don't know -8, those for whom it's not applicable -1. And again, this will all be documented in the user guide, so please refer to that for more detail. But this is just an overview of the data sets and structure and the naming conventions. In terms of further resources and more information on how to get your data, I would say that there's a wealth of resources available to help you on the Next Steps study page of the Centre for Longitudinal Studies website, which is here. This includes the key features of the study, publications, documentation, as well as various guides and reports to help you navigate this new data. And in addition to that, we have user guides, the questionnaire, other technical report from the survey agency, as well as previous journal publications that can help you understand some aspects of the data. And soon we are hoping to publish the upcoming cohort profile for Next Steps that will also document aspects of the data. To access it, I've mentioned already, but please visit the UK Data Service. Data is freely available to researchers, government analysts, and third sector workers all around the world, and we encourage you to do so. It's free to download. And you simply need to register initially to become a member of the UK Data Service and sign an agreement about the data, and should be able to access it immediately on the end user license. Any secure data, including linked administrative data, may take a higher level of application and documentation, but more information can be found on this website. That's it for now. We hope to have a live webinar later this year where we can answer your questions. But if you do have questions in the meantime, I would just encourage you to contact us at clsdata@ucl.ac.uk or complete the contact form that's on our website on that web address. And we look forward to hearing from you and seeing your research in due course. And just to finish, to say on behalf of the whole team at CLS, including Liam and Alison, thank you for watching this, and thank you to our funder and institutional host. Thank you.